craziness until it was like after COVID, and like it was like me, maybe Andrew, like very few people, like 4 or 5 people in the office. And I walked past him one time, and he had like full volume, like through speakers, Alex Jones just screaming
Oh
at
yeah,
him.
dude.
And I was like,
man.
wait a second. I
Oh,
did
that doesn't
not
make
know
so much
that this was like this kind of. I just thought he was like kind of silly. That's when I was like, "Holy shit! I get it now. This is scary now."
Yeah, and he'd have his fits where he just like throw his keyboard through his cubicle, and you're just like, dude.
Did he?
Eric
No
Cerna,
way,
too,
dude.
that
Who
guy.
is
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy?
Timothy,
That's
you
the
don't
part that
remember
I
that
missed.
dude?
He stood
Eric
like right over by
Cerna?
the
Oh, this guy,
bathroom.
man.
He was
Yeah,
right
no,
over by
you-
the bathroom, and he like had one of the standing desks. So he was like standing a lot. He was like kind of a
He
tall
always
guy.
wore
Just like a
some
big guy.
type of shirt.
Yeah, he was Army. Or,
He had, like, some
Marines
kind of
even.
vest
I think he
on.
was a
Yeah, he
Marine.
always
Yeah,
had some type
vest.
of vest.
Like a North Face vest.
And I think you're right, Wager.
Mhm.
He was some kind of armed services.
He was a
He was.
Marine.
Marine.
Yeah,
He was a
Like,
Marine.
dude, I was talking about him with Kevin. Like, we were in Kevin's office, and he's like, "Man, the Marines must have ate his lunch." And I was like, "No shit."
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
let's get going. I rolled you, Jacob, but I'm pretty fast and loose. What happened last time?
Yokizos
Oh, yeah, I
finished
need
talking to
to
the
pull
high
up.
priest, and it was kind of just like a, hey, I just wanted to meet you kind of thing. The rest of the party. Oh yeah, while I was talking to the high priest, he said something about the ravens like listening, basically. And on the other side of the world, the other side of Henri, the party, I guess, we're also kind of having a similar revelation about the ravens because of something Aslos had sent out. I don't really fully remember.
We went to the forge to have our talk.
Yeah,
And
we
Yeah,
were forced
well,
to-
someone
Yeah,
from
I
the
wanted
other
a
side
secret.
kind of picked up.
And then we
Yeah,
kind of
secret
all met
forge
back
talk.
up in the safe house when Grot showed up, and then Grot immediately attacked Yokizos with a sharpened stone. So we subdued him, and while we're eating our feast, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
supposed to at 3 a.m. go alone to.
Oh yeah,
God, what's it?
the Rusty Flagon.
Yes, thank you. Sorry. Usually have the map up.
I don't know that one because I made that one.
Yep, well, that's where I'm supposed to be at 3 a.m.
Yes. Yeah. So you're right. And for the other side, what did y'all do at whatever it's called, the forge? What happened there?
Athos told us about his letter, and then we like
Go to
planned
visit
like
her.
how we would take on like whatever he has to do.
Oh, and then we also got visited in the forge by. We got a letter from. Dude, Waco, what's your character's name, bro? I'm so sorry.
Durna.
Durna.
Oh, yeah, Derna.
Derna, thank you.
Yeah, I
We
was
got a
typing
letter
stuff.
from Derna. and then
Moderna.
Yeah, and he kind of like sent it by person. And he also
Delivered.
might know a little bit about the Ravens being bad.
Yeah, and so the session ended with all of y'all meeting up, like Jacob described, at the safe house. And things broke a little bad as Grot was there, attacked Okizos, the rest of the group comes, Ventus comes with all of his pancakes, and then Lopen and Sornin also show up for the feast. It's a lot going on. And
and I cast silence in the room so no noises can get out.
And
Yeah.
I closed the door and locked it.
yes, y'all are...
And it's the.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No,
the
no,
Forge
go ahead.
guy? Was he in there too? The Forge guy?
Oh yeah,
That we're
Sornin
keeping
and
Yes.
Lopen showed
No,
up
no,
with fucking
With Home
what's
Dude,
his
right?
face? And Tilly's
remember
there.
his
It's like
name.
a little party that we didn't know we were
Yes,
having.
there are a ton of dwarves there.
Yeah.
Hans is his name.
Hans, that's right. Got the-
Yes,
he
you
definitely
can see-
looked like Hans with a bunch of clothes on.
Yes, they did Lopen and Sornin are the characters where you have to appreciate their effort, but not their execution.
yeah.
They tried really hard and failed miserably, but Hans is there as well. So yes, y'all have a full safe house of probably like 15 to 16 people inside, some of them being rather large. But we ended the session with y'all subduing Grot. He has a rope of entanglement across one ankle, a grasping vine across the other, and he put up quite a fight. He was valiant in his quest to slay Yokizos. But, yeah. Is there
The
anything
safe
that...
house is full of our most trusted Von Rieg allies.
It's true. I mean, kind of without planning it, you have created quite the meetup between everyone with a pretty big discussion point to have. Is there anything that anyone would like to go over or refresh on before we start?
I better be getting that boat update soon. I sent that Raven out a while ago. I'm just saying.
Very true. If there's nothing else, then let's go ahead and hop in.
Bum, 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 bum.
And actually, I should bring y'all here
Let me pop this out.
Yeah!
to...
Does it say poppin' now? It sure does. Pop in. Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry.
Oh, you're okay. For some reason, the safe
99%.
house...
Talking out loud.
There we go. It was not loading. So yeah, because y'all are in the safe house, might as well bring you to the safe
Like
house.
Sornin, Lopin, Tilly, Grot, all their tokens.
Yeah, I wonder if I've
Need
touched
them
some
all.
of them, not all of them.
Grot can be prone, or not prone, grappled.
Yeah, grappled and restrained. I have some of them I can add. And so y'all are currently restraining Grot. A lot of commotion has gone down. There's a lot of chaos. Chairs have been thrown across. There's a lot going on. But you have him subdued.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm still like, I made sure everyone's eating the feast, because including all of our new friends that keep showing up. There's a fuckload of food, and even though it's like weird what's the word I'm looking for? Tense situation.
Yes.
I'm like, you gotta freaking eat the food though. It was supposed to be cooler, but now it's like, okay, this is gonna help you, so just eat it.
Right. Yeah. The energy has definitely changed. The mood has shifted in a way that you weren't hoping for, Yokizos. But it is what it is. And as you say that, you can see that at least the newcomers kind of begin to eat their meals. And they're taking some food as they're kind of watching the situation. Lopin and Soren are kind of muttering to each other, pointing at Grot, who's all tied up. And there's murmuring, but after he's been tied down, it's a little calmer.
Just to reiterate what you get from this feast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big stuff.
Hey, Thunder. Is Thunder here?
And he's not here.
Thunder is not, unfortunately.
He's in a food coma.
He's officially silenced.
The one corner of the room that's out of the bubble.
Alright, so, Grot, what the fuck happened, Durna?
And he just kinda growls
I believe
at
his
you.
I believe his mind's not quite right. He doesn't even remember, and I look over to the Undith, and Jaryu, right here. That he had no recollection of him.
He traveled
Ready
for
made
weeks.
now.
He traveled for weeks
Ready
without
made.
the ground.
Look, it all has to do with these mushrooms, right? So I followed the trail, found out that he went down to the Underdark. So I can tell you right there, that's got to be purposeful. Something's. It's not just him chasing mushrooms and he's crazy, and especially him wanting to kill you. Something's going on. I don't know what, but I found him at the bottom of the mines. He roughed up some of the guards down there. Did some wild shaping to get down there. They wouldn't let him go down, and he came up with these rocks. And I pull out the rock and I show.
What
Oh yeah,
wild
I
shape,
already showed.
what wild shape was he in when you saw him?
Dire Wolf.
Dire wolf.
I thought, yeah, I was thinking maybe you said polar bear type looking thing,
Yeah, he
and then there
always
was
chooses
bird
the
stuff.
polar bear. For as long as I've known him.
Release me now.
Shut up, Grot.
Mm.
And he
Not
gives you
gonna
a
happen,
venomous
sir.
stare.
See, and I thought he was your friend, right? So that's suspect right there.
Grot is definitely my friend. I don't know what happened with him here, but we need to get it. We need to figure it out.
So I want to walk over to the feast.
Okay.
Is there like, I want to look for mushrooms in the feast and kind of like pick them out if there are any.
Sure. Yeah, no, there would be like roasted mushrooms.
Portobello.
Yeah.
So I want to grab a plate and just like stack it with mushrooms from this feast and take it over to Grot.
And he kind of looks at it as he's tied up on the ground. He can really only look. And he looks up at you and kind of growls at you loudly. What do you want? Release me now!
I don't want anything. I just heard you liked mushrooms, so I figured you might be hungry. So
Grot, I would absolutely hate it if you ate those mushrooms. That would destroy me.
And he squints at both of you. And you can see he tries to kick the plate out of your hands, Jin, but the restraints prove too much, and he just struggles against them.
Fine, be that way. And I dump the plate of mushrooms on him.
And he roars out at you. Stop it!
I was trying to be nice, dick.
Hey, have you guys checked his eyes? Is he compromised? Can I check his eyes?
Like to be a
Yeah,
snake?
you walk up and inspect his pupils, and he does seem free of black broth. There's no indication of 1T entanglement with him.
Yeah, see, the word compromise seems right though. I must say, something's. Oh,
Keep him here. I'm gonna go pray and see if I can find something, figure something out. And then I
And
go
also-
into my room and cast divination. Whenever we can go back to it.
Sure.
Hey, Grot, do you have any of these mushrooms that you're eating in the Underdark?
And he looks at you. If
He's
I
afraid
were...
of me, by the way, deathly afraid.
Oh yeah, no, he does not look at
Wait.
you. He looks at the wall behind and refuses to make eye contact with you as he kind of says out a lot softer. If I were eating them, I wouldn't have any left.
Well, maybe you stored some in your pockets, Grot. You're not exactly remembering a lot these days.
I pull out. I do have a vial of like some dust, and Durna pulls it out and is like, "This isn't an actual mushroom. This is the dust that was left over after he must have touched and ate it. They turned to dust pretty quick. And then also, this reminds me that there's a Myconid at the Raven Clan house who's studying this. He's had almost a full day now. I'm looking at the time. Oh, more than 24 hours. So there's that too. I don't know if that's enough time for him to figure out what this is.
Can I see the vial?
Yeah, I hand it to him. 100%.
I bring it over to Sornin and Lopin, and we get a little Worm Clan powwow. And I ask either of them if they remember seeing this, because I know what it is, right? We've established that.
You've seen the mushrooms before.
Yeah. And I asked Sornin and Lopin if they know what this is.
And he they look at it. You can see that they kind of pull out some glasses and begin to inspect it. And probably for the first time in any of your careers with these two individuals, you actually feel like they know what they're doing. As they pour out a small amount of the black dust, one of them pulls out a small instrument that looks as though it's weighing it of sorts. It's like a small scale as they apply the dust to the scale. And you can hear that the two of them are kind of softly murmuring to each other in Dwarvish about what they're finding. And Sornin turns back around to you and says, "We can't be for sure without our full equipment, but I believe that this might be grounded dust or grounded ash of blackcaps."
And Sorna, do you know their medicinal properties?
And Lopin kind of turns around in his chair and says, "Well, medicinal is a strong word, boss. Blackcaps are highly toxic. We don't see them very common this high up. They are allergic to sunlight." This, and he kind of shakes the vial. Kind of like a vampiric mushroom of sorts. When exposed to sunlight, they begin to break down into a fine ash, like you see here. And Lopin kind of shakes his head and he says, "He's right, but normally blackcap dust is just that, poisonous. If you ingest it, poisons your bloodstream, makes you very sensitive to sunlight, painfully sensitive to sunlight, but it also wrecks your immune system. It's just a simple poison in that way. It just begins to break down your body." And they both kind of turn in their chairs to look at Grot. They say, "It's not as though just ingesting blackcap dust would do this to him. He would just get sick and sensitive to sunlight."
While this is going on, I want to try and like feed Grot one of my pancakes to see if he wants that.
And yeah, as this kind of serious moment is happening, you watch as Grot opens his mouth to let you put one in. And as soon as he puts it in, you put it in, he spits it back in your face.
Well, I don't think I like you, Grot. I'm gonna put the pancake down. And I keep eating the pancakes.
Well, gentlemen, this is magic beyond my means.
Let's see what Yokizos has to say, and then maybe the Myconid professor, doctor, I don't know what he was, specialist of some sorts. We'll have some ideas. What time is it? Like 8 or 9 or something?
Yeah, something around there.
I could maybe go over there tonight.
Take Sornin and Lopin with
Maybe
you.
worth in the morning. Yeah, maybe worth in the morning. I don't know, but kind of late to go there, but I don't mind. Kind of important, seems. See what Yokizos comes up with. Looking at the back door or whatever.
Where's our next appointment at?
I don't have anything tonight, do you? You're done
Not
with
tonight,
the
but
links?
tomorrow.
Oh, how did the links
Well-
thing go? Side.
Well,
I do have a little bit tonight.
yeah, true.
And then
And before y'all begin that conversation, I just want Yokizos to be a part of it. So I'm gonna go over to Yokizos in his room as you cast a spell when you're alone.
So I go into the room. I go into like my meditative state to cut out all the noise, and then I like to think like in my mind's eye when I'm doing this in my mind, like it's like me sitting in like an all white everything around me, and there's like little wisps of mist and shit around, and I'm just sitting there like kind of like in my little state.
Yeah. Kind of avatar state it.
Right, and then I say, what's the name of the high priest? I can never remember his damn name.
Pause then.
Posner. Okay. I say
Awesome,
Balma,
awesome,
Mothra, or Poznan. One of my great friends has been affected by some curse, and I wish to cure him. How might I do that?
And several moments go by as you sit in the whiteness. And you wait for both not an audio response in your head, but also a visual response. Like you said, like flashes of color that splash across this white display whenever you get a response. And slowly you hear kind of the mumbles of awakening as you hear the voice of Posden in your head. If it is a curse of magical means, then through magical means, you must remove it.
So then I kind of just all the white, basically like the whole whiteness, like all pulls away, and then I'm zapped back into the room. Like I'm not actually physically moving, but it's just kind of all.
Sure. Yeah. Your mental existence moves
Right.
as you shift back almost to this plane of existence, and you are sitting cross-legged on your bed.
So yeah, I immediately get up and walk into the room and just tell everybody I think I can cure him tomorrow. So we just need to make it through tonight and keep him restrained. It's most likely just a curse, and I can deal with that, but I wasn't prepared for doing something like that today.
And I say, like with everybody in the room, I kind of just like start to go into it. So I have a meeting, and I'm looking at kind of like just Kizos and Derna because I've explained it to everybody else. Tonight at 3 a.m. Supposed to go alone. It's at the Rusty Flagon, and it's due to a letter that I had sent out, and I kind of pass around the letter, or I kind of just tell the letter that I sent, and I sent it out basically to the Ravens, and I forget my exact terminology that I used, but something along the lines of like, I know you are listening. I am a listener too.
But we decided that you're not going to be alone, right?
Well, yes, but no. Like, you guys, we're gonna have to obviously replan a little bit here. I mean, all of us should definitely not go. We'll have to pick a certain amount of people that can go. Actually, wouldn't mind the idea of Derna possibly coming because of the way you run trade. So, and you know the city. But
yeah, I wanted to roll a history check too to see. Do I know anything about that Rusty Flagon? Would that spark any interest?
You know the Rusty Flagon. It's not like a particularly like secret bar or like a famous tavern by any means. It's just kind of, it's just another tavern in the city.
Yeah, I'm not affiliated to any group or anything.
No. You would think you would know that it's mostly serviced by Forge District members, by stags and oxes, just because of where it's located. But it's not like either their clan's like primary tavern or anything like that.
Okay.
Dude, I gotta say, I absolutely love this song. It's such a vibe.
yeah, I'm like hard vibing this.
Yeah, this
I
song
got
is
it
such
up
a
way
vibe.
too
Every time
high.
it comes on, it's like, hell yeah.
But this is so tonight at 3 a.m. this is something that I do want to have a plan for. I mean, I wasn't under the intention in necessarily getting a response. I more wanted to see. I wasn't sure what I'd get in return. I have been paying attention since I've got here, and I've always thought that the Ravens have intended a little more than they are. And after reading your letter, Derna, I have a feeling that you may feel the same way, but I've been watching and listening, so.
I mean, for what it's
Well-
worth, the literal, and I look back to make sure my silent spell's blocking the window where all the ravens sit. And I'm like,
Is
the
there a
literal
curtain for the
high
window?
priest of Von Rieg basically tipped me off that the ravens were nefarious in some way and listening. I asked how I can reach him again. He said, "Don't send a raven, just show up."
Yeah, and I think that at that reply, that would just have been, I'm significantly more worried about this meeting after hearing him say that.
Yeah.
Sure. And Ventus, what did you ask?
Is there a curtain for the window?
No curtain.
Okay, I want to go and put my cloak like pin my cloak to the window to like cover it.
I don't
I like
know.
that.
Looks like you got some curtains over there.
I use my feathers to pin them too.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I currently right now, Jin, Derna, I'm not really, those would be two that'd be great to have since we're kind of reworking the whole plan. I mean, of course, someone can turn invisible, right?
Yeah, Jaryu said he could.
Jaryu can turn invisible, that's what I thought. I just didn't want to misspeak, but
Yes, I can, and then I turn myself invisible.
Yeah, I think from here on out, the entire time we're in Von Rieg, I mean, we can have meetings in public, but anything that's amongst this sort of discussion, we need to have behind what we consider safe and closed doors. And I think right now, weirdly, the Forge, our safe house, and probably the Worm Clan house are the only safe havens we could have anything like this. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, even the Worm Clan house has been broken into, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't
Yeah,
know if they can
it's
trust.
it's compromised.
I mean, the ravens are literally in the freaking high temple. So
Yeah.
yeah, we need to be
Well-
very wary of these conversations.
I'm not necessarily too afraid of this conversation tonight. I don't think that they are going to expect a Goliath to show up. When I signed this letter, I signed it AG. I just did not want to fully give away who I was yet, so I'm okay with revealing myself. I just don't know who I would possibly be meeting, so that's going to add the mystery of it. I don't really know who does run the Ravens. I thought maybe it could be the Raven clan, but is that too simple? I don't know. So,
As much as I would like to help you, Aslos, I think I have to stay here with Grot, and I would prefer if at least one person were to stay as well, in case he breaks free and tries to attack me again. Fear
I'd just
Portal
stay here.
pretty fucking big, so
yeah, I kind of look at Thunder and Ventus, and I'm like, Ventus, how would you feel about staying here? I just don't know the best way that we could disguise you other than
Yeah,
you sneaking
yeah.
through the street.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard for me to get around to the forge like we originally planned without being noticed. And it might be weird that I'm randomly at the forge at a weird time at night. So I think I don't mind staying here, and if something goes wrong, I'm like one of the fastest, so I can hopefully get to you guys if you guys really need it. As long as you got Jin and Jaryu like relatively close by, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think, and then
we're-
Derna, if you would like to come as well, I feel like you would be a great asset to us with your knowledge of the city. So,
where do
fine.
we stand on our
don't mind.
stones currently?
Aslos has my stone.
And I have my stone.
Okay. Alright, that's fine. We'll keep it that way. So we can at least communicate if we need to.
okay.
Now, I would say that I'm a little low on these, the spell slots, or whatever you'd want to call those. But I do have this ring, Yokizos. If you have a spell of second or third level, or maybe even a couple first levels that would help us out, I could get you to cast it in there. I don't know how many, spells you got.
Let's see.
For the day.
I got Silence, spiritual weapon, ray of enfeeblement, gentle repose. That's just an always prepared one. Blindness, deafness. Those are my level 2s right now. And level 1s, inflict wounds, false life, cure wounds, command, and bane. Let's see.
I wouldn't mind one of those cure wounds, maybe.
Do I just have to cast it into the ring?
You have to cast it though, yes.
Okay. Sherp.
Boom.
And it makes that noise as you as the ring absorbs that magic.
And then what do you think, guys? Maybe emergency blindness might be fun. I don't know, or silence. Sounds pretty cool too.
I was kind of thinking of going a little early just to scout the place out in my disguise. Maybe
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Derna, you can come along with me so you wouldn't be out of place there.
Oh yeah, we can take a walk.
So I'm going to turn into my tall dwarf disguise.
Mm-hmm.
And
Perfect.
what time is it right now?
I'd say it's probably like 9:30 at night.
So it's probably still a little too early. I think we should head out like you and me, Derna, maybe an hour before.
David, it's a full 8 hours, right, to get a long rest.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
cast blindness, deafness into the ring as well.
Ooh. Yes, sir. I know that's a meaty one. I like that.
It's level 2.
And just for as a soft DM reminder, Yokizo still is not aware of what happened at the Lynx clan house.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, true that.
So I don't know what you know about the Lynx clan, Yokizos,
That they exist. That's what I know about them.
but they're
Same.
shady as fuck.
Yeah, you should have been there with us.
Yeah, he was straight up trying to bribe us by having us overthrow another clan and install them as a major clan, and then he'd vote for us. Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
How's that even
no
work?
way.
That's what I was
Yeah,
getting past. He was like,
yeah.
"No, that's the favor. That's the quid pro quo." And I was
Wow.
like, "Nah, dude."
Well, I got to see like the holy shield of Balma that was made by Mothra, and if you touch it, you die. Apparently.
What good is that?
Oh,
Well, I guess only one person can wield it, and it's no one alive currently has ever seen anyone wield it. I actually
seen
watched
Leash Bearer?
the high priest fucking touched it, and his whole arm started dying. Like literally, it was like falling off, crumbling like those mushrooms you were just.
Ah!
And
Did
then
you
he
touch
like,
it?
and then he healed it back. No, I didn't touch it. You kidding me? He burned
Dude,
it.
you should. Aren't you like almost chosen?
No, I mean, I've passed some certain rites, I guess, but
Maybe it won't burn you to death.
Yeah, you should have just touched it.
You gotta believe.
yeah, but then if I don't, I just die, and then yeah.
We'll bring you back.
No, I
got
turn
burned.
into dust. Remember, we couldn't bring back Lestrange because he turned to dust. That's what would happen to me.
That was different. That's too soon, man. Too
I don't
soon.
know much about this situation, but it sounds very similar. Not different at all.
Yes, I'm scratching my beard as if convinced by Jin's argument to touch the shield.
Alright, well, whenever either of you guys get the 6th right or whatever and can go up to the high temp. Oh, wait, none of you can. So.
Ooh.
I don't
you
have a
guys,
desire.
you guys don't know anything about touching the damn
Sorry.
shield. I don't want to die, okay?
hey, someone should tell Fail to touch the shield.
We got.
I think she.
We'll
likes
transport the
it.
shield where we're not touching it to Fail and tell her she's a chosen one.
You'll just be like, hell yeah!
We'll have her
Shield
stop by
time.
here real quick.
She just. Infinity War gets turned into ash. Yeah, I'm gonna take the side of the high priest who's been alive for like apparently 1,000 years or something on that one. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but the Lynx guy was
You do-
crazy, dude.
Great
Yes, the
bananas.
He was
There
actually
wasn't
making
any
black
random
dragon.
like insects crawling around, was there?
Would that matter?
Oh, it's funny you say
No.
that, because Thunder actually, was obsessed with them. Made his own.
He made his own ants? Oh, he's... I forgot about that. But I don't remember that happening because I wasn't there, so...
Nice save.
Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna stay here with Grot, and tomorrow morning I'll be able to, hopefully, according to Poznan, the high priest is his name, it's still new to me, he gave some advice to remove a curse, and I can do that tomorrow. But I don't want him to, like, escape if we all leave, and then we can't find him again, and it's a whole nother ordeal.
Why not just do it now?
I can't do it now.
Oh, do you need to rest first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking I'd be
sleepy.
removing curses today, so I didn't prepare it.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I should just always have it prepared. Like right now, if we got in a fight, we'd probably all die, because I can't heal anybody right now. I got just cure wounds, that's all I got.
And when you say that, all the ravens turn to look at you. No, just kidding.
What? Don't fuck with us like that, dude.
Nah, I'm just
And we go in combat and kill all the ravens.
kidding.
Every single one.
And so you still, as a group, have some time before Aslos' the next thing, right? Are y'all wanting just to wait until then, or is there anything that y'all would like to do in your downtime?
Yeah, let's come up with a backup plan. So, like, if things go sideways, we're gonna just call you on the stone.
Yeah,
Team-
and I'll
Team
start
Save
running.
House.
Do you think?
Yokizos, are you gonna
Looking at
come if
Soren.
we're in trouble?
Yeah, look at Sornin and these two guys. They look
I
reliable.
don't
Are they
think
reliable?
We're gonna be in trouble. Yeah. What
Um,
about Sornin?
Well,
Yes,
Sornin and
but
Lopin, we're gonna
please-
go with you to the mycologist. But you're
Yes.
now going
Oh.
to the Rusty Flagon.
I will.
We could go to the
I mean, you
if
you still
Yokizos
got,
can
you still
heal
got
him,
time.
we can worry about that later, maybe. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
we could fit it all in if we wanted.
Let's go to the mycologist if
do that in the morning.
Yokizos can't fix it.
Yeah, we could do that tomorrow after he cures.
I will come help, but
Grot.
please don't call me unless it's like you really are in trouble. Not just you're in a fight, you know what I mean? If you're fighting some thugs, you guys can handle it, right?
Oh, I can handle.
Can handle most thugs around here. Yeah, it's not a problem.
All right,
But if it is a dire
Sornin,
situation, then yeah, I will definitely come.
you will have the assistance Yokizos of Sornin, Lopin, and Hans.
And they'll kind of wave. Hello.
Yeah, I kind of just getting like, okay.
And Lopin takes a large box out of his bag and says, "We can construct a puzzle together."
You know what? That actually sounds enjoyable. Let's do that.
And they open up the box and they kind of prop up the lid so you can see, of course, the puzzle that you're going to be doing. And it is a very drab, pretty ugly, just cave, like cavern.
Yeah, I imagine they're missing like 8 pieces in it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It's all shades of browns and blacks. Like, it's not
Oh,
colorful
no.
whatsoever. Very difficult, it looks like. And they're like starting to scatter all of the pieces together as you
Just
pull up a chair and
drop it
sit
on
with
the
them.
ground, dude.
Yeah, you can watch as pieces are falling off the table. It looks like a nightmare. And Lopin says to you, Ventus, you may also join us if you want to help.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna finish my pancakes. I'm keep eating my pancakes.
And yeah, you keep eating.
Did I get these 6, or does Yokizos roll the 6 for the Heroes Feast?
What?
On the 2d10 HP, is that you or me? Like, do we do
I
it?
don't know.
Why am I Lopin?
You might have had him selected. Like,
Well, you just rolled 2d10 and got a 6. Dear God, dude.
Yep. Yeah.
One
a
of those
creature
units,
that partakes of the feast. So anyone who eats gets 2d10.
And what is that
Yeah, I'm
2d10
definitely
do again?
starting to eat.
It's
Hit
10
points.
temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
okay.
temporary.
I
That's
That was
2d6.
2d6.
Oh shit. Fucking 4.
4.
What?
Well,
It's
it's
my
a
own
good thing you're
fucking
staying
spell.
You're too busy worrying about other people enjoying the feast.
It says hit point maximum increases.
Does it?
Yeah, it's temporary HP.
No. Temporary HP is a separate thing.
What?
Yeah,
Well,
it actually is.
okay.
It is different. Your hit point maximum
Yeah.
increases by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points.
Oh shoot!
So how's that different?
means
than
you can be
temporary
healed.
HP?
You can
Yeah.
be healed.
So right. So the difference would
24
be
hours is you can be healed. Yeah, that actually.
the mechanics would be different in that your HP, let's say it was 10, and then it goes up to 15, for example. That means that if you were to drop down from 10, you could be healed back up to 15. Or if it's temporary hit points,
You just
you would
lose it.
consume those 5, and then you could only be healed up to 10. Harder to keep track of, but better.
Give me the chicken nuggies.
There's still the
Premium.
wisdom.
And don't forget,
Saves, that's the
immune
big
to
one.
poison and being frightened, and all wisdom saving throws with advantage. So while y'all are out doing this
Yeah,
shit
wisdom
tonight,
saves, baby.
Wait a minute. Wait
How
a
long
minute.
does it
Wait a minute.
last?
24 hours.
24
Damn.
hours. This is beautiful.
Wait a minute. I pull
Wait a
out the vial of black cap dust.
Wisdom checks.
Immune to poison and being frightened. Immune to poison. And it says cured of all diseases and poison.
True.
Wait, how did you guys do it where you get these, like, blue bars?
That's temporary HP.
Right click the number you rolled and then apply temporary HP.
Oh, okay.
I pull out the vial of black cap dust
Mm-hmm.
and eye it suspiciously as I feel the calming effects of poison immunity.
And
And
Lopin and Sornin both are watching you now as you do this.
I hand it to Hans.
And Hans takes it, who has now bequeathed himself of his robes and disguises. And he takes it and looks at you with his waxed mustache and says, "What do you want me to do with this?"
Hans, I'd like to do a little experiment. You need to trust me. And I give him a very tiny amount of the dust, like I have like a coke nail. I give the dust out.
I do go. Hans, have you eaten? Have you eaten? Have you partaken?
Yes, I had 2 muffins. They were very good, thank you.
Okay, my bad. Okay, just making sure.
Ventus, get the feather.
You want me to eat this?
I'd like you to try it.
And sniff this too. And I pull out the drug feather.
And he looks between the brilliant golden Pegasus feather and the dusty black ash that you're offering him. And he kind of points to the feather and says, "I think I would rather have the feather."
Who
And
would?
I like wiggle it over
Wait,
there.
do the dust first and then the feather.
But why do you want him to do the dust?
Because I want to see.
He has
If
to
it-
have it be a good one, or he has to have it be bad followed by good, dude. I mean, come
And
on.
he
now.
takes the
w-
vial and presses it to his lips. And as he chugs it back and swallows the black dust, he begins coughing nonstop. He can't stop coughing. You can see that trails of black dust are leaving his mouth as he's trying to catch air, and he just can't. And he continually coughs until he's beginning to tear up, and then finally, after drinking some wine, he's able to stop coughing. Oh, this was horrible.
And how do you feel?
Oh,
Do you feel
this-
poisoned?
I feel
Do you
so
feel?
dusty.
Do you feel? Do you feel stabby? Do you want to stab Yokizos?
I want to stab you for making me eat that.
Oh god, it is making him cursed.
Now sniff this.
Oh god.
Okay, and I observe him carefully over the next few minutes with Sornin and Lopin.
And as you watch him, you can see him struggling to help Lopin and Sornin with the puzzle. Like every now and then he'll pick up a puzzle piece and kind of try to force it into a hole, and it doesn't fit, and he places it back. And you're watching him do that, and it's kind of sad, but nothing about his behavior
It's
changes.
just kind of sad.
Okay.
Imagine Sordin, Lopin, and Jaryu just surrounding him, like facing forward in a chair, just like.
Yeah, everyone's kind of watching. And yeah, he's just kind of trying to put puzzle pieces in, but he can't.
Well, as I said, this magic is beyond my means. I did my best.
Give him some of the feather.
What? Can we get a time check?
Yeah, probably like 10 now, 10:30.
Damn.
Oh, I'm gonna pull out the eyeball of the Alhoon.
The fuck?
Yeah. Yokizos
Okay.
rummages through his bag of holding, and he pulls
Oh,
out
yeah.
an eyeball. It looks fucking disgusting. And then I basically just like crush it, like I just squeeze it in my hands and it pulverizes it.
Oh,
And cast Detect Thoughts, and I detect thoughts on Grot.
Mm.
And then it, even though it's all like mushy and gross in my hand, all of it just completely disappears. Like the eye is just gone. There's no remnants left of it.
Yeah. It dissipates almost ethereally as you begin to pour into Grot's mind. And Grot's mind, as you begin, I'm trying to think if you ever would have casted this before, Yokizos, to have a frame of reference. I don't think so, though.
No, I don't think so.
But Grot's mind is very difficult. It's almost painful to you. Like, visually, you would see it as like it's a black background with just lines going everywhere, like static, like almost like a TV station that's white and black that's just crackling. And you aren't able to parse any thought in any way. It's not as though his mind is blank, it's as though it's like an angry beehive that is so it's not devoid of thought, it's overtaken by it.
And then after that, I turn my attention to Tilly.
Until he's washing some dishes.
I mean, I'm detecting his thoughts.
And you're able to slip in a small amount of detect thoughts on him at the tail end of this spell. And you can hear him thinking to himself, I have to be sure to get off those letters tomorrow for my sister-in-law, or else she's going to be very upset that I didn't wish her a happy birthday this year, even though I don't wish her a happy birthday because I miss my brother. I should reach out to him instead. And then the spell kind of fades away.
Okay. So yeah, as I kind of go up to grab some tea, I walk over to Tilly and I'm like, you really should wish your sister a happy birthday. And then walk back with my tea.
And he kind of stops for a second, washing, and kind of looks at you walking back. And then goes back to washing his dishes.
Okay, well, that was worth a try.
Well, hey, Darna, what do you say you and I go scout the joint out real quick?
yeah, we go step in, have a drink or two,
Yep.
make ourselves
we'll just
acquainted with
settle
the
in.
area.
Yeah, we'll
Yep,
just settle
I
in
think
with some
so.
drinks and watch the scene. I should probably have a stone though, since Derna doesn't have one. Aslos, can I get my stone back for now?
Yeah.
I pull
Then-
out my potion of frost giant strength.
He
and put
will
it on
need
the
a
table
stone.
next to me. And
Like I
I'm
said, I don't
ready.
even know.
If Grot happens to break free, I'm gonna chug it.
Sure.
Would you like
And-
me to accompany you two to the Rusty Flagon? Invisibly.
I mean, even
Oh, sure.
non-invisibly, I think you wouldn't be too out of place, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I travel,
He's known.
and without a
You're
disguise,
known.
I'm known.
I'm known even now.
Can
At this
you do
point,
you
I would
have a
like to think.
disguise?
Well, maybe you
have-
could go with Aslos when he goes.
Yeah, I'll go with Aslos.
Well, what I'm gonna do is in 15 minutes after they leave, and then I pull out kind of like a black traveling cloak, like that is like all
Mm-hmm.
tethered, but like I kind of pull it over my head, and I'm like, I'm going to leave 15 minutes after you guys and head to the forge to at least wait for you guys there, so I don't anticipate any trouble on the way or anything like that. So if you want to come with me there, I at least want to be positioned there to at least think about what I'm going to do 3 a.m. So
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, I'll go with you there.
sounds good.
Cool. And the two of you head off. Ventus, you are eating some pancakes with Froyo in front of the fireplace. She is kind of lazily munching on a pancake. She is living her best life as she is sitting in front of the fire. Her scales are getting all roasted. She's kind of laying on her back, and every now and then, like through sleep, she'll kind of reach out with her mouth and bite a pancake and kind of gnaw on it while she's kind of asleep. It's very good.
Yeah, while we're standing
And
there, I want to be making a list of which pancakes were the best, and while she's like dozing off, we're having a conversation and debating which ones were the best.
excellent. By the end of this session, I want for you to provide to us your top 2 favorite flavors that you came up with.
Okay, got you.
Hell yeah.
And Yakizos, you are working on your puzzle with Sornin and Lopin and Hans, and it's actually kind of fun. Like they're dumb, but they're good dwarves. As the two of you are working together, Grot has like kind of fallen asleep as he really has nothing else to do. He was laying there for a while with just his eyes open, his head resting against the floor. And now he's like kind of starting to doze off slightly as like the people have left and things are calming down a little bit.
Are Sornin and Lopin going with y'all tonight? Like they're not
Nice
staying
to
here,
meet-
are they?
I think they're staying here with you.
Hey
Thought-
Tilly, do you mind keeping Hans and Soren and Lopin tonight?
Until he puts down one of the dishes, he says, "Well, my accommodations are quite small, but I suppose
Thank you,
we could
Tilly.
all." And he kind of looks down for a second as he goes back to washing the dishes, a little slower.
Kizos places a couple of pieces of the puzzle on and gives a side smile.
Yeah, and Yokizos, you're kind of crushing the puzzle. You're doing quite well with that wisdom's check. And for the rest of you, the energy is a little more tense. Not that I would say that Yokizos and Ventus are totally relaxed because they know what's going on, but now that Grot has kind of fallen asleep, it's a little less stressful here at the safe house. You can see Yokizos and Ventus that while people are gone, there are ravens that are coming by every now and then at the window to check if you need any letters delivered. And each time they come, it's maybe a little more tense than it would have been before, as they sit in the windowsill for a couple minutes and just watch y'all as they prune themselves. And then let's get some tavern music, as I believe it is Jin and Derna are heading to the Rusty Flagon. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think we were
Those-
escorting. We were all going to the forge first, or the four of us.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay. Perfect.
I imagine
Yeah.
it would just look like I'm traveling with two dwarfs if Jaryu's invisible at this point. If you're not invisible, that's fine also.
Yeah, no, I'll stay invisible the whole time.
Before we leave, though, I look over at Jin. Are you gonna? You going right now? Disguise self? You gonna do that now?
I had already done it.
Or are you waiting? Oh, you already did. Oh, okay. So I'm looking
Yeah,
at.
yeah,
Oh yeah, look at you. Perfect dwarf. Tall for a
Tall
dwarf.
dwarf.
Yeah, that's fine. And yeah, I'll also disguise self real quick.
Perfect.
Yeah, brown haired, standard bar going dwarf.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. And the group of you reconvene together at the forge. And the forge is empty, of course. You pick your way in, Jin, as you couldn't find the spare key last time. But you make your way inside, and kind of like coming home to like a friend's house. It's like a little odd coming in because it's like not yours, but you're the only ones there, and you kind of feel like you shouldn't be.
It's familiar.
Yeah.
All right. So from here, uh, Derna and I are gonna go in, kind of scout the place out, and kind of nuzzle into a little corner and just try to watch for anything suspicious, and then try to, get the eavesdrop on your conversation with whoever.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good
Yeah, I
to me.
wouldn't mind.
But
Yeah, I'd like to time it out a little bit. If I could, maybe we show up around midnight ish, or no, it'd have to be even later. 3. You want to go now? And come back? Or are we gonna stay there the whole time?
No, we should definitely stay there the whole time and be suspicious. Otherwise, I think.
Hmm. Okay.
Wait, but
I
you'll
might have-
leave before 3?
No, we're gonna get there at like 1 or 2, and then stay there till after the meeting's over.
I just don't want to
Okay.
spook whoever's there if they're there alone. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. Does it close?
I mean, most taverns stay open. It gets a little.
They gotta stay open.
Depends. I think they stay open.
If
I
it's only
recall.
you two, then I would say
Well, we can make that call when we get there, but I think it'll be
yeah.
crowded.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like the gin. I like the past 1 o'clock. I don't think I could quite disguise myself for hours on end. It's been a long day, to tell you the truth.
I thought you were a professional.
I am a professional. I will regale you of the story of me finding Grot. It was quite impressive. I think there's the amount of spells I had to use. It was too
Well,
much.
one time we defeated a vampire.
No way. I've never
And
even
Jin,
seen a vampire.
you're thinking to yourself how he was very much alive and still out there.
We defeated him. I didn't say killed him.
You won the battle. You won the battle for sure.
You had to tell me this story as well. Y'all have so many things happened just in that one little conversation at the safe house that I can't even wrap my mind around yet. But I'll ask questions later. We're about business tonight, right?
Exactly. That's
Oh,
why I like you, Derna.
All
hey.
about business.
Plus, we get to have some drinks too, right?
You can make a good addition to our crew one day if you play your cards right.
If I could only be so lucky, correct? Right?
You'd have to be very
y'all are-
lucky, but it's possible.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes tonight, huh?
Yep, exactly. And then
And so,
we
yeah.
head to the tavern.
Yeah, the two of you head on over. And I'll describe the Rusty Flagon before we go back. The two of you walk into the Rusty Flagon. Let me. Actually, I'll go back first. We're back at the safe house. Everyone, welcome back. Is there anything of note happening here that y'all would like to go over? Jaryu, are you at the safe house?
I'm invisible.
No,
You don't
me
know
and
where
him-
I am.
Me and him are at the forge.
Okay,
We're at
that's
the
true.
forge.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm at the forge.
the four of you.
Yeah.
Yokizos and Ventus, is there anything that y'all would like to RP while y'all are just kind of relaxing at the safe house?
Have the dwarves left and Tilly?
No, not yet.
Okay. Hey, Yokizos, do you think we should still send out some letters to Ravens for our other meetings just to make sure, like, we're maintaining our
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
I don't know the word. Yeah.
Okay, do you remember who we've... Okay, who else do we have left? We have the bear, the rat. Didn't we have an order posted somewhere?
I know we're supposed to see the ravens. Should we? I feel
We
like we
already
should
saw the
send one to the.
ravens.
Uh,
We had
oh yeah,
bear, rat, and
you're right.
goat. That was the next 3.
And then worm. Wait, sorry, I'm not there.
We had bear, rat,
Bear,
and
rat,
goat,
and
and then nothing else for sure.
Uh,
So
let's go send letters to those guys.
yeah,
Just
so let's
asking for their
see
time, I guess.
let's see if the bears want to do morning tea, and the rats want to do evening tea. And then the goats, I think we can just show up whenever we feel. It sounds like they don't care if we just show up whenever.
Yeah, there has to be.
We'll just show up at lunch the next day or something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So all right, so yeah, I start writing a letter to the bear clan and then to the rat clan for bears morning, rats afternoon.
Sure.
And then while he's doing that, I finished my tier list with Froyo, and Froyo's asleep. And so I want to pull out my light blade, and I just want to like place it on the ground and like meditate with it, and ponder like what I'm supposed to do with this.
Hey, Soren and Lopin, do you guys have like any books on the Underdark or anything?
And they're like still working the puzzle pieces as they respond to you. And Lopin says, "Homes on the Underdark. Ah, I'm sure we have a few at the clan house. Sure."
Could you maybe,
And
could one of you, or I guess both of you, could y'all run and go grab those? We're actually looking for something in the Underdark, and I would like to see if we can locate where it might be.
Sornin kind of peers over the puzzle pieces and says, "Right now in the middle of the puzzle?"
You can finish the puzzle when we come back. I need to read these tomes sooner rather than later.
And Lopin fits a puzzle piece in and goes, "Sure, we can do this after the puzzle."
So with my high wisdom save, or high wisdom check earlier, I start grabbing pieces in rapid succession and just putting them all in place like really fast, and I finish the puzzle.
And
Yeah.
we'll say that takes a couple minutes as you're fitting in the puzzle pieces. And Lopin is kind of looking it over and he says, "It's very clearly correct." And Lopin says, "Something feels just not right about it. I think we messed up somewhere."
I imagine all of the pieces are actually in. Like he was never missing a piece. He just thought he was always missing 8 because he did it so incredible.
Right. And Soren is kind of comparing the lid to the puzzle and says, well, you can see right here that the grains of the stone don't actually match what the artwork shows.
The pieces all match. It doesn't matter anymore about the picture. The pieces fit. Look, there's no weird spaces.
Well, you say that, but if you look here, this looks a little weird to me. And he points to a stalactite.
It's just a giant square. All the pieces fit, guys. It's done. It's finished.
And Lopin kind of grabs Soren's arm and says, No, we've seen those. We've seen those quite a bit in the tunnels. That's a stalactite."
What if you've put this puzzle together wrong all the times before this?
And they both look at you. No, you don't.
The puzzle
And-
is finished.
And Hans is looking at it and says, "I think it looks beautiful the way it is. I think that we should frame this."
Thank you, Hans. Thank you.
Does anyone have a frame?
Do you have one at the clan house?
No, I don't think we would. No.
Well, when you're
I,
out
like,
getting the
definitely
books,
do,
pick up a picture frame on the way and some glue.
And you can tell that Soren and Lopin are now like they were trying to avoid going back, but you keep pushing it, so they like stretch their arms out. Like, "Fine, we'll go to the clan house, the clan house, the clan house." And you just want us to get all of the books that we have on the Underdark.
Yes, and grab another puzzle.
And when you say that, they look at each other like, "Oh, now that we can do, yes." And they hop off, and they tell Hans to stay as they head back out to the Worm Clan house. "We'll be back in maybe 25 minutes or so."
Alright, thanks guys.
And whenever they leave, Hans looks at you, and his feet are kind of like swaying back and forth in the chair that's too big for him. So, what do you want to do now?
I actually need to talk to Ventus about some stuff. It's Diamond Dragon's things. Could you maybe go hang out with Tilly just for a little bit?
And he looks over at Tilly, and Tilly looks over at y'all.
Hans, there's a bunch of food and nice tea. Like, come on. Like,
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not. It's not for the rest of the night. It's just for a little bit. We just have to talk, and we discussed we can't talk about some stuff out of this room, right?
And he pours a glass of tea for himself, and he just kind of sits there.
In Tilly's space, Hans. Tilly, can you show him? It's not all three of them. It's just one this time. So can you show Hans your quarters? I like roll my eyes when I say it. Like, Jesus
And
Christ.
Tilly puts his plate down. And he says, "Come on, Hans, let's look at my space." And he takes him outside.
And I lock the door.
And now we'll go over to the rusty flagon.
No, and one thing, I turn around and look at Ventus, and I'm like, why were they even here in the first place? Why the fuck did they all shut
I don't
up
know.
right whenever we all shut up?
I came in last.
Alright, now we go.
That's funny. Okay, so the two of you walk into the rusty flagon. Jesus Christ.
You're doing great,
And
David.
sometimes.
Don't sweat it.
And the Rusty Flagon is it's an industrial style tavern that's in the middle of the Forge District, geared towards working class, especially those that work in the Forge District. Whenever the group of you walk in, you can see that this place is very much stylized, kind of in the way that like a metallurgist would design a tavern. In its center is a very large boiler that fills the room and gives off heat. And there are various furnaces, bessemers, iron pots, and metal pipes that stretch all the way throughout the tavern. It has a very industrial feel to it, which sets it apart. It's kind of nice. And you can see that the barkeep is a grizzled old dwarf that has long, wiry gray hair, and he's not overly welcoming, not the warmest. And the most noticeable thing about him is that his left arm, from his elbow down, is completely missing, and it is replaced by a metal claw hand fashioned from iron rods and metal
Nice.
plates. And you can see that his right eye is completely missing. It's been scarred out, and he chooses not to wear an eye patch to cover it, forcing everyone to look at it. And you can see that without turning his attention to it, he is with his right hand pouring one glass, and with his left artificer arm is acting almost independently of him, as without looking at it from behind him, it is grabbing more glasses to serve patrons. And this tavern is decently filled. It's about 10:30 to 11 at night, so it's kind of prime tavern hours. There's maybe like a dozen or so people in here that are all enjoying tavern life. And as the two of you walk in, he kind of gruffs at you and says, "Seat yourself."
And yeah, we just find a table and sit down.
Yeah, and you can see that there are several other dwarves here. You can tell a lot of them are from the Boar clan, probably getting off a mining shift. They're still in their mining clothes as they're enjoying a pint together. And it's not super loud in here. It's relatively quiet. There's a bard playing in the back, but softly. It's not like a raucous bar or anything like that. And after several minutes of y'all sitting, the bartender kind of comes over and he kind of hobbles over. You can tell that he has kind of a hobbled gait as he brings himself over to you, and his artificial arm rests on the table. What will you lads have to drink tonight?
And Dara puts his hands up, and in Dwarvish, 2 ales. Let me get the. Would you got something hot to eat? something we could, or maybe a charcuterie board of some sorts that we could put out here?
And he's placing down coasters for your drinks as he answers you, and you can tell that his artificial arm is writing down your orders as you say them, as he's not paying attention to it. And he rumbles back at you. The only thing hot we have tonight is lava cakes.
We'll wait later for maybe a lava cake.
And he nods and walks away.
And I explained it, and I talked to him, and I talked to Jin in some common,
Mhm.
what's it called? Thieves can't a little bit.
Mm.
Basically asking him, do you know Jorvish?
I'm like, hell no, I don't know Jorvis. What did he say?
Oh, okay. No, he's got nothing hot but lava cakes. That's more of a dessert type situation.
What's a lava cake?
I mean, it's a cake, but it's got like a whole little thing in the center. It's nice and warm and toasty. You cut into it, shit happens. It's all the warm goo. It just comes right out. It's beautiful. I think we're gonna have to pass the time. Did you want to talk to people? I think we should probably hang back, drink
Yeah,
a few
nah.
first,
I
eat,
think we should
act
stay
like
low.
we're here to hang.
Yeah,
Right?
we want to be here to hang and not make a scene. If people want to approach us, we'll let them sit at our table. But I don't think we should be seeking out a crowd.
This is good. I got a dice cup too. If you want to like pass the time later, if we have enough to drink, maybe
I'll
do some of
bust
that.
your acid dice.
Shit, shit, son.
And you pull out your
Young
dice
gentleman.
set, and y'all kind of begin to just like lazily play some dice. It's not high energy whatsoever. Just kind of rolling whenever you're ready for it. And Aslos, I remember you said that you and Jar, you were going to leave maybe 15 to 20 minutes after they arrived. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I imagine we got to the forge.
Yeah, right. And so the two of you enter the forge as you're kind of waiting.
So Jaryu, it's actually great that I got you alone. So, I didn't want to say this around the other guys, but I've really thought through this whole clan thing, and I think the clan of the worm is for me.
I am so happy to hear you say that.
I just really like everything that you have going on, and I don't know if Soren and Lopen will have me though. I've been worried this whole time, and I didn't know how to say this, but I'd really like to be a part of this.
Well, what's your insecurity? Why don't you think they'll like you?
They said that I would never be a worm. I mean, what? That
Yeah,
was the first conversation I had with them. Remember at the bar?
they've forgotten it by now, trust me. And besides, they don't have the final say in who gets to become a
What's
Worm Clan
going
member.
on?
So I'd be happy to have you. I'll make sure they get you set up with a cloak. And if we have to sew 4 of them together to fit your giant size.
Just everything about the death element that you have, and then as I kind of reach into my bag, I pull out I have 6 of these, and I kind of show him. In speaking in the death kind of area, have you ever seen one of these? And then I kind of show him a wisp of shadows, and I have like 6 in a bottle. I am very interested in collecting. The more of these, the better. Have you ever seen something like this?
What would I even roll to know if I have seen something like that?
Probably an Arcana check.
Oh, well, you're not in luck.
Maybe I am.
I have seen these before, but I've never been a collector.
Oh, well, this is just this. I am elated. Well, wherever I can get to buy this is I have plenty of money, and I feel like I would bring a great addition to the Worm Clan with the money that I bring. I don't know. I've seen everything that everybody has to offer, and I'm not impressed with this city. But the Worm Clan, they're different.
Well, one thing, Aslos, we don't celebrate death. Okay? It is our solemn
And I
duty.
kind of am looking at him like,
Thunderface.
It is our solemn duty to make sure that the dead pass. Right? And if you wanna if you wanna celebrate it, just keep it quiet.
okay. Okay. I mean, you're still like, I mean,
But
you
wait,
like
but wait,
death,
wait, wait,
right?
wait. We can yes. We can definitely also help you find these wisdom shadows, especially if you want to join the Worm Clan.
Okay, yeah. I mean, and then you just, I mean, I'm sold. I mean, I think like everything that you have to offer is, really is. I mean, you know what really sold me? Just the idea of this outhouse I haven't seen before. I don't know. It's just something about it.
Well, it's an outhouse.
Yes. Well, how do you guys feel
standard.
about art? And can I be the chef? It seems like you don't eat well there.
No, Sorn and Lopin definitely don't eat well, and neither do I.
Oh well, I mean that is going to change from here out.
Aslos, you would be a great addition to the Worm Clan. And
You're gonna need like 8 of these ropes if you're gonna sew it together. By the way, so okay, well, this is good. This is good. I'd really like this.
I will speak with Lopin and Sornin forthwith and make the coronation happen.
Fantastic.
And well, I have one favor though.
Yes.
I need you to get those amulets from Jin.
I'm kind of like looking like what amulets are we talking about?
Jin carries on him 2 amulets that give him the ability to summon a very special demon to me.
And then I'm kind of looking at him, I kind of smile, and I'm like, why is he special to you?
I need it for my sword.
The sword that glows?
Yes.
Why do you need a demon for that?
All will be revealed. Just help me with the amulets.
I think we can get this done. I think we can get this done. I know how to bargain with him.
It's
I
a
know what he
deal.
wants. He wants money. Always. He always wants money.
It is a deal then, and I reach up to shake his giant hand as he probably engulfs my entire arm.
Yeah, I kind of like lift him off the ground, and I'm like, "This is a great day." And then I like flip a switch right back to worry, and I kind of adjust the tiara a little bit, like, "Oh my god, I had this conversation later."
Oh man. And I want to go back to the safe house quickly, and then back again. Several. Oh wait, actually, you wanted to have a conversation with Ventus. And
I think so. I don't know. Ventus kept asking everyone to leave, so.
Also, Ventus, I wanted to go back to you. You are sitting,
Yes.
with Froyo asleep, and you bring out the light blade just to kind of play with it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do so, what you remember what it's done ever since you've been in Vondry. Do you remember what it does?
Yes, it just like spins ambiently.
Right, aimlessly, yeah. And you place it flat on the ground again. Yokizas, I would think that you would probably see this as well.
Yeah, I'm watching very intently because I've never asked about it, but now it's just me and him, so it's like the perfect moment to kind of bring it up.
Yeah, exactly. And you watch him as he places this beautifully crafted blade, and you watch as it begins to spin once again, aimlessly, as it is picking up speed and just kind of whizzing around. Not like not like revolutions like a propeller. It's not that flawless. It spins for maybe a second or two and then kind of stops and wavers and shakes, trembles, and then goes the opposite direction that it did. It's much more chaotic than like a seamless, just full rotation. It looks as though it's almost struggling.
What is the purpose of this sword, Ventus?
I don't know. It's been pointing north, and ever since we got to Von Ree, it does this thing. I was hoping to talk to maybe one of the clan house that does all the smithing. The whatever clan house that was, and see if they knew anything. But
Shit, which one was the smithing? That's the boar. That's the not the boar, the ox, isn't it?
I think
It's
so.
in the Forge district, you know. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a stag.
Yeah, but you know, I just didn't want to. I don't know the rules here. I didn't want to just show up there.
Well, I mean, we've already technically talked to them, so we could just go. I think we're allowed to go there now. It's not an official meeting. Yeah, the stag. We need to go see the stag.
Okay.
Maybe I would definitely go right now, but it is kind of late. And the
Yeah, I
growth
know.
situation.
Just whenever we get time.
Let's make time tomorrow between seeing the clans.
Okay, sure.
And as y'all are talking, the light blade is, or the light sword, I should say, is continually spinning until, for the first time that you've been in Von Rieg, Ventus, it stops.
I immediately walk up and step on it, like to hold it in place.
Oh, I was like, what? I see now.
Yeah,
you
not
place your
like
foot on it.
stop yeah, so it doesn't start moving again.
Right. No, it is rigid, and it is kind of rigid, like a dog, like a pointer dog would almost be, in that like it's kind of shaking still and kind of wavers every now and then. But it is pointing in a way that it has not since you've been in the Skyreach city.
And where is it pointing? Or what direction?
It's pointing northeast.
From the safe house, northeast. Okay.
I've never seen it stop like this.
I'd wager that this might be a trip into the Underdark. Because northeast, we're pretty much northeast in Von Rieg. Would I be able to place that's pointing towards like the Kraken area or past it?
I think it'd be too difficult for you to tell.
God damn it, Grot. Now I want to go explore this.
And he said he's kind of sleeping.
Do you think it could be like outside of Von Ree, or do you think it's somewhere deep?
I don't know. I mean, what is it? It depends on what it's pointing to, right?
I guess. Well, we're supposed to go to the Underdark anyways, right? For the meteor.
Right.
We could probably check it out then.
But I think what do I remember which direction I came in whenever we came into Von Rieg the first time from the Underdark?
You could roll a survival check.
God damn it.
Yeah, I think that you would know, but you would have to really have right now in this moment you don't know, but you could figure it out with enough time.
Okay. I think the meteorite is actually where Jaryu and I first emerged into Von Rieg, and from what I remember, that was on the opposite side of Von Rieg. So I don't know if we'd necessarily be going to the same spot.
Oh dang!
I don't know. I could be wrong. I need to. Oh wait.
And
there's
almost
another road.
almost interrupting the two of you, you watch as there is a kind of a grating sound against the wood floor of the safe house. As you watch as the sword that is pointing slowly begins to turn.
Like turn how?
Like it's
yeah.
rotating. And now it's pointing east-northeast. And slowly now it's pointing east. And as it hits about east-southeast, it slowly begins to slide more and more, and now it's completely lost.
What do you mean it's lost?
it's going back to its like crazy rotations
okay.
again.
Yeah, I do. All I remember is that we came in on the Elder Road. Well, when Jaryu comes here, he'll be able to tell us where we came in at. I just remember that it was the King's Road or whatever. So
But if it
maybe it
moves,
isn't the same spot. I don't know. It's changing directions. So
yeah. So I don't even know what could this mean now.
And you have seen it before, of course, changing directions like you just saw, but never like this, where you watched it in real time move and then freeze up again.
I'm gonna like stop it and then put it back on the floor and see it and like try and like start it up again.
Yeah, and it's still whizzing.
Hmm. And then pick it up and I put it back in the sheath and then like, well,
what if whatever that's pointing at is moving?
that's what I would think. But what could it even be pointing to that's making it do that? And like,
Where
why
did
did
you
it
even
do
get
it
the sword
just
from?
this one? We got this back in Ocaria. It was stolen from that museum, and it was at the lion's like throne room. And I took it as before we left.
Well, we'll definitely be following up on that, Ventus.
Yeah.
And y'all are interrupted again by a knock at the door as Sornin kind of swings open the door and says, "We're back!"
Don't lock that.
Oh, sorry. They go to lock it. And with that, I want to go to the tavern. We're going to have to jump ahead in time quite a bit because I know that y'all at the tavern are really just trying to buy time, right? And y'all at the forge are really just trying to buy time. So, unless there's any RP that you would like to do, which if there is, by all means, please interrupt me. Otherwise, I'm just going to monologue to make it seem like a lot of time goes by.
So in the are there
Mhm.
any like standout suspicious individuals that we would spot?
No, as you are looking around at all of them, you can see that, like I said, it seems like a working class tavern. Lots of Boar clan members, a few Ox clan members, a few Stag clan members. Mostly the clans of the Forge district, kind of labor grade workers are coming here to get a drink or so. And as time is going on, probably past like midnight, it becomes really quiet. There's really no one here. It's like the two of y'all, maybe 3 or 4 other dwarves that are just sitting at the bar. There's not a lot happening at this tavern. And through the time that you're here, you really don't see anyone that seems suspicious in any way. They're just working dwarves.
Then I guess I'll just keep my eye on the door
Sure.
to spot any suspicious individuals that come in.
Yeah. And unfortunately, again, you don't see anything. It's almost like it makes you feel as though, like, do we have the right tavern? Is this the right night? Because it seems almost disappointingly boring. At about 12:30, the bard packs up his instruments and the music stops. And he heads up to the barkeep, gets his night's pay, and leaves. And it kind of makes the tavern feel a little more ominous in a way. Now there's no music, it's just the two of you with a couple other patrons and the barkeep that's kind of watching y'all as you're really his only customers. And at around 1 o'clock or so, it really is just the two of you and the barkeep.
Well, I think it's time for lava cakes. How about you?
Lava cakes. Hey,
And,
and I'm acting a little extra drunk.
And you can see he rolls his one eye as he walks over, kind of hobbles, and says, "You want your lava cakes now?"
It's finally time. It's fine. Finally time.
2 for
And-
each of us.
Yeah, we need 4 total.
And he staggers back to behind the bar to the kitchen.
Ah,
So I didn't
we
think
still
it'd be
got some
this.
time.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be this empty.
Me neither. This is not good. Then there's a point in which we.
What if we just ask for a room and we rent a room and then kind of try to
Right.
eavesdrop from there?
Okay. This
You
is
good
good.
for
I
it?
think we. Yeah, we think we. Oh yeah, I got some cash.
Alright,
Some coin. Yeah, I think we keep. We got to keep being more drunk. I think.
Yeah, definitely got to get more drunk.
Yeah, that has to happen. We have to keep drinking and keep acting drunker than. Yeah. Okay.
Because it'll be
You know.
suspicious otherwise.
Okay. Yeah. Because that's why we're here. That's why we're staying. It's like, oh, buddy's hanging out, throwing dice, got too drunk, had to stay.
Just avoiding our wives, man.
Yeah. There you go. I like this one. This is an angle that can be worked.
And
sure.
kind of cutting the both of you off, the door opens back up, and he hobbles out and gives you a forced smile as he puts down 4 lava cakes. There you are, 4 lava cakes.
You friend, do you have any rooms? Drunkenly swaying as I give him some coin for the lava cakes.
And he forces another smile as he says, "I will have to go and check for you."
Okay. I think we could do it with just one, but I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
But
And after a couple
make sure
moments,
they're
he walks
clean.
back.
Like, no, clean, please. Thank you.
We have 1 room for the night. Would this suffice for you?
Yes. How much are we talking?
2 silver.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be worth it because we just drink a little too much. Old friends, reminiscing. Here you go, sir.
Just as a forward, the bar will close at 2.
Oof. And what time is it? Well, what
He-
time is? He's
He
getting all crazy.
he pulls out a pocket watch and kind of opens and says, "It is 1:30."
Oh, we got
Oh,
plenty of
dude,
time to eat these
let's
lava
get-
cakes.
Go ahead and get us another round right now, just to be safe.
And he rolls his
Uh,
one eye and walks over
I
to
appreciate
refill
that,
your
sir.
flagons.
Good coin being spent.
And he comes back over and places down your flagons. He says, "You're lucky. Oh, we don't have many rooms here. And all the others have been bought up."
Oh, I wasn't even expecting to be here tonight. So, or spend the night at least. So I appreciate it. That's awesome. Very lucky. Look at my partner over here. He's drunk. I'm drunk. I'm going nowhere. And these lava cakes are delicious.
Yeah, these lava cakes are the bomb, man.
I'm
Just
glad that you
tearing
enjoy
through
them.
'em, getting it in it.
Compliments to the chef.
That would be me.
Compliments.
He gives you a small smile. Thank you, sir. I will let you know when we are about to close for the night.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
And he goes back
we
behind
don't
the
want to
bar.
overstay our welcome, you know.
And it's like a little uncomfortable because it's you two and Tim. And he's just sitting behind the bar kind of watching y'all.
Man, you remember when the common rooms in taverns used to be fucking packed 24/7?
Oh, yes, I do. And I start rolling dice again. Like,
Man,
just to get the
those
game
were the
going again
days.
while we're eating. Yeah, I like a good room that gets really rowdy. It's not very rowdy, but we are here. It's good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I know you and Charisse have that thing going, but man, You're too good for her.
I know. I keep getting. My mom says the same thing. You know. And I just don't know what to do. I just don't know. The kids, you know?
So I kind of whisper, what are we doing? Or
I don't know.
should we go up to the room and just wait?
Yeah, I'm looking at the time. We're getting close to 2. Yeah, let's order one more round before.
Yeah,
right
definitely
before
one
2.
more round.
So yeah, that's the game plan. Like right before 2, we're gonna get like double rounds and take them upstairs.
Deal.
And the two of you order more drinks. And he serves them to you and says, "That will have to be the last pour of the evening."
That's what you said, and that's why I listened. I paid attention, and this is like that's all I have, and I'm holding my 2, clinking them
Yeah,
together like an
that's why
idiot a
we're
little
here
bit.
for last call, man.
One more. Okay, yeah. Upstairs.
Well, we shall retire for the evening, and we thank you for your hospitality.
And he kind of gives a small bow and says, "Thank you for your patronage. I will lock up after you." And he walks you upstairs. There's a small staircase that leads out from the common room. And you can see that it brings you to a small hallway. Coming off of this hallway are 3 doors. And he gives you an iron key that gives you access to one of them. And he gestures to the door farthest down the hallway. "Your room will be there at the end. I will lock after you." And he gestures to the door that gives access to the hallway or to the staircase down to the bar. And he takes this key ring and locks that door so that you are locked into the hallway, essentially.
That's kind of weird for a tavern, right?
No. Standard business.
They'll lock their patron. What if there's a fire?
Well, that's true. I didn't ever thought about that. Certain places just, don't want you getting down in their business. They shut it down, they shut it down. Surely there, and I do look around. Is there a fire exit?
No, there's no fire exit. And as someone that spends a lot of time in taverns during it, you just kind of realized how unsafe that actually is.
Yeah, I was trying to make it make sense. Like, is this a common thing or not?
So I'd like to
He's
go.
too drunk.
So we were pointed to one room. What can I tell about the other 2 doors that he didn't point us to?
You can the doors themselves are identical to the ones that y'all are in or guided to. They just look like standard kind of like tavern doors.
It's okay.
Yeah,
You
I'm
think
like,
those
hey,
are just
Ian.
other guests? I thought there might
Yeah,
be a secret room with.
Yeah, come
with
on.
something.
Let's put these. Let's get these drinks down. Get in our room for a second.
Okay, you go put the stuff in the room. I'm gonna look around here.
Okay, hand me your beer. I'll get an extra beer and the key. And yeah, try to get in there.
So I'd like to approach the first door.
Okay.
And I guess very quietly just check to see if it's locked.
Yes, it is.
And I'd like to try to pick it.
Okay. And yeah, this is just a standard run-of-the-mill lock. It doesn't take you much effort as you slide in your lock-picking kit, pull the tumblers, and you hear the mechanism softly click as you unlock the door.
And then, without a sound, open the door a slightest crack and see if I can hear anyone inside.
You can hear a little tossing. It's completely black inside. You're assuming that the person is sleeping.
Okay, I'm just gonna shut the door and then move on to the next door.
Okay.
And again, see if it's locked.
This one is as well.
And I'll pick the lock.
I'm poking my head out the door. Are you done? What are you doing?
And once again, despite what he's whispering to you, you focus on the lock, trigger the mechanism, and gain access to the door.
And very silently, just crack it, listen for signs of life.
And you crack it, and the lights are on in this room. There's a candle lit on the nightstand. They're small rooms. It's really just room for a bed, a trunk, and a nightstand. And this room is vacant. The bed is made. It doesn't look like there's anything inside. It's completely empty.
I'd like to step in and investigate.
Sure, roll an investigation check for me. You make your way around the room softly, gingerly, kind of opening the trunk, looking inside the nightstand, and it is completely empty.
Can I check for a secret compartment in the trunk?
Roll another investigation check.
I'm gonna be sneaky at the door at this point. I've made my way to the door. He's doing this.
Yeah, and you're kind of watching him kind of peer through the room. You don't see any secret compartments. You aren't able to identify any magical traps or whatnot.
So I look up at Durna and say, "So you're the detective. Why would a hotel keep a candle on in an empty room?"
Not quite sure because there's no one else up here. He locked up for the night.
Yeah, and this door was locked. I had to get in here. So, what? The barkeep lit this candle, then locked the door.
Yeah, that's not good practices. Once
there's
again,
no
with the whole
windows
no
in
fire
here?
escape. No fire escape.
Just checking. I look around. Are there any windows in this room?
No.
Any like closets and or crevices? I have not checked yet.
No.
Well, Durna, I'm stumped.
Well, it is curious, but
Something
what
to
time
keep
is
in
it?
mind.
So we got to be about 2:20. Okay, we're getting close to
Okay.
the thing.
And I would like for both of you to roll me a perception check.
Ooh.
Durna, you kind of not freeze, but you stand still as you raise a hand to alert Jin that you have been keeping your ears open and you hear something downstairs. You hear one, the door close, which you expected because the bartender needs to leave. What catches your attention is that you hear it open again and close again. And with that, I want to go to Aslos. You are waiting patiently for 3 o'clock. Maybe at points even kind of trying to stay awake, as there's not much going on. The two of you are kind of having to entertain yourselves into the late hours of the night.
Yeah, imagine we're talking how I'm joining the Word Clan.
Sure. And Jaryu is kind of giving you a interesting but also maybe slightly boring history lesson over the Worm Clan because you have nothing but time to go into the details of it all.
Oh, and I am
But
so engaged.
oh, excellent.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty fascinating history. Okay.
And that's the exact energy that Jaryu brings with it. Until you notice the time, Aslos, and you regrettably have to cut him off as it's 2:50.
And then I kind of look at him and I said, it's time that I should go. I want to go at least 5 minutes ahead of you. I'll have you go invisible, but I don't know if these people can see invisibility. That if it's actually the Ravens, they're probably going to be very intelligent, and I just want to have you follow.
Yeah, I'll stay far enough behind and I will stay outside and keep a lookout.
Sounds good. So then I head that way.
Yeah, you head on over, and Durna, as you listen, you hear kind of the rustling of tables being moved, chairs being dragged on the wood, and then nothing.
And something's going on. They were fucking moving furniture. And I'll kind of give him the wave, and I want to go down to the door and put my ear up against it.
I don't hear anything.
And Durna, you go up to the door and rest your ear up against it. Aslos, you approach the door of the Rusty Flagon. It's a tall iron door.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and I mean, I just assume that this is where I'm supposed to be. So I mean, I'm just gonna open it, or try to open it at least, just
Yeah,
to go in.
and the door's open.
Yeah, so
You
I'll just go in, and then I'm casual about it. I was worried, and then I kind of had like a long conversation, and I think I kind of got over it, and now I'm partially excited instead of
Mhm.
nervous. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's kind of a blend of anxiety and excitedness. It's kind of like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Um, and when you come inside, you find yourself in a dark tavern. The giant boiler of the Ressi Flagon rests in the center of it, and there are chairs and tables all around it. And you see sitting at one of the tables, completely alone, is a dwarf. And this dwarf you don't recognize. This dwarf has long white hair and a long white beard. He does not look welcoming or warm as you walk in. And you can see that his skin has what appears to be like almost like bruises on it, like purple clouds, kind of. And he looks at you whenever you walk in. And he raises a glass of already poured beer to you and kind of gestures it to you.
I kind of look at him and I'm like, it's okay. I bring my own. And then it's not like I'm trying to be rude, but I have like I have my whole sack. I don't want to accept a drink from somebody. I don't really know what this is. So I kind of just give him a half bow and just sit down.
And he nods and sits down across from you. This dwarf looks battle-born. He's an older dwarf, you can tell. Several scars across his hands and his face, deep wrinkles, and again, striking white hair, not to mention his bruises. And he takes a drink of his beer and sets it down and says, "It's late. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm sure you have questions, and so do I. I would like to presume that you are AG."
Ah, yes. I didn't want to give too much away before I had the pleasure of meeting another listener.
And he nods and says, "Of course. Would you like to go first, or me?"
Oh, well, since you called me here, I prefer that you go first. I'll save any of my questions till after.
And he takes another sip of his beer and kind of shrugs and says, "That will be fine. I don't have many questions. I am connected quite intimately with many significant dwarves of Von Riek who wish to have their identities unrevealed. I do not share these concerns, as the dwarves of Von Riek do not know who I am. I was sent here, upon their request, for a simple purpose: your silence."
My silence. Well, that should be pretty easy then. I have no intention of speaking any, but I need to know. I need answers. I want to know what's happening. I will not play victim to what so many do. I will not be part of the system that you have in place.
And he takes another drink of his beer and he says, "You are no victim. The system that you addressed in your letter is very real. It is not intentionally for you or any of your party. It is for the security of the city. He kind of looks down at his drink as he says this and looks up at you and says, there are big changes coming to the city. To the dwarves. You know this.
War.
And when you say this, he looks at you in his eyes. They're a steel gray color. Again, odd for the dwarves. And he nods slowly and says, of sorts, yes. We need to make sure that there are not dissidents. There are not rioters. There are not revolutionaries. And if there are, then perhaps temporarily they should be placed in Fengcell until this is finished. Do you understand my meaning?
So, this is your way of telling me that you are trying to keep people away from war effort? You don't want anybody to be worried about this? You're not worried, our city could be attacked, destroyed? Have you not been following what has happened everywhere else? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You have this system in place to prevent that?
The system that you recognized, and that other dwarves are suspicious of, he raises a hand, which is why we are asking for your silence, is in place not for the reasons that you just described, but because when we make the big changes that are coming, I say we, I take no part in it, when the council makes these changes that you will see in the future, there will be dwarves unhappy with their decisions. There will be dwarves that will try to organize and protest of what will happen. If we can nip that in the bud, then we believe that for the future of the dwarves, it will be worth going through their mail, breaching their privacy.
Well, you have my silence. You've been watching me the whole time. You know of anything that I will do. What is this big secret that you're keeping from them? I am no dwarf. I give no... Well, there is one clan that I care for, but none of your business. I have no interest in the political game. What secret do you have? I'm a Goliath, as you can tell. The most hated race of the dwarves.
And he smiles when you say that. And he kind of looks up at you and says, for now. These changes I can't tell you of. Not even because I care, but I am not allowed. Remember, I am sent as a representative for the dwarves that wish to remain anonymous. But big changes are coming. This I can
How
guarantee.
soon?
If everything goes correctly, which many times in this city it doesn't, my guess would be within the next week. We must act quickly, you see.
Am I in danger?
And he raises his glass and kind of points it at you and says, not if you cooperate. No one should be in danger. This is for the betterment of all dwarves.
I kind of nod and just sit back, and I'm like, I think that we can really come to an agreement here.
And he smiles and says, your silence is deeply appreciated by my benefactors. Your group, even you, a Goliath, are being held in high public opinion. It's no secret that there are suspicions about the Ravens. It's not as though you are the first to think it, but if such a rumor were to spread from a group as highly taught as yours, it would be taken much more seriously than it would by a few dwarves at a pub late at night. We
You
can't
don't
risk
have
that.
to worry about that from me. My silence and my word is everything that I pride myself on, so I will say nothing. This conversation will be kept on the down low. I have no means to interfere in the system that you have. None.
And he smiles and finishes his drink and kind of pushes it off to the side and says, well, in that case, I think all of my questions are answered. Do you have any lingering questions, or are we finished here?
And I kind of just will say, so you're a part of no clan. You're a part. This is no one individual clan. This is many clans. Correct?
And he pauses for a second as you ask that. I would not say I'm a member of no clan. But this change includes all clans.
Good. And I say, well then, that's all we have to talk about. I appreciate you meeting with me, and I hope that this is not the last time that we meet.
It won't be. And he stands. And he turns to leave, but he pauses for a second and he says, AG is the G for Goliath.
How about I talk about that with you next time? And I kind of just smile.
And he smiles back and he says, I really thought one of the first questions out of your mouth was going to ask who I am. You don't care, do you?
After hearing what you have to say, no. I don't care who you are. I care what you know. And that's why I wanted to meet with you in the first place. But unless you would like to tell me, I will leave that up to you.
And he walks forward to you, looking up at you. He's still a dwarf, as large as his personality might be. And he says, as a sign of good faith, but like I said, I'm a dwarf of whom no one knows. My name has no value. So as a sign of good faith, I will share mine with you. My name is Meyer Kier.
Thank you. Then I kind of turn around, have my back to him. I kind of just finish my drink. Just sitting alone in the tavern for a bit, as I assume he's leaving.
Yes. You watch him walk out of the room. From behind, you can see his long white hair sweeping behind him, several bruises on his back and shoulders peering through the armor, with large purple swelling. And he opens the door and leaves.
Okay.
And that's where we'll end our session.
Ooh!
Ooh.
No.
The intrigue.
See, he had some
The
purple
intrigue.
swelling? You just said?
What was his name again? Can you type it?
Yeah, I put it in the Foundry chat.
Yeah,
You're cute.
you did. You very much did.
Fire
Cool.
cue.
Did somebody know who did? Am I supposed to know who that? Nobody knows who this is, right?
I think it's
No
a
one.
big
That was the whole
character.
deal. No one knows him.
I think what
And man, it's cruel to end this
I
session
know.
here. For most of you, it means nothing, but for one of you, it means a lot. And I feel bad that in character he can't share yet. But that's why we call them cliffhangers.
All right.
Wait a
All
minute.
right.
I think I know what it is. Should I guess it? No.
No,
I actually think I know what who it is.
Yeah, make
I
it-
can't. I won't stop you from talking about it out of character, but at least in character, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Is he one of the 2 long lost clan elders or clan of Hale's people that went out? Like, you know, Jaryu was one of 3. Yeah.
Yes, you might be right.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
How does Jaryu know that?
Because Jaryu
I-
went with them.
I will explain it out of character. That Jaryu, which translates roughly to the warrior, left with 2 other disciples, which Mirkir is darkness, and Haita, which is the 3rd, which is a prayer. So there's 3 of us.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. The extra name part.
And 2
That's
of them
fucking
never
dope.
came back.
Like, I've
Or
known
did
that.
they?
I've known that part.
All three of them founded the Worm Clan, but 2 of them disappeared while Jaryu went on his like sabbatical for like 50 years.
Heckin' Jaryu.
You left the homies behind.
Never
Did.
leave the home.
It was his mission, dude. It was his mission to go spread peace and death.
You didn't even kiss the homies goodnight.
Yeah.
But
Oh, man.
I'll explain it more in character.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll
Yeah,
be
that'd
good.
be nice. This would be hard-hitting
I'm
stuff.
I'm pretty excited.
We got 1 week, boys, before it gets nuts.
Things are getting a little thick.
There's so many like loose ends we still have to tie up too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
where-
I mean,
Cities exploding.
there's like a giant meteor underneath the city.
What about the Worm Clan and Aslos? How am I gonna cook for them?
But what about the Worm Clan and Aslos?
GG's,
What if the
guys.
droid
biggest
attack on the
thing, yeah.
Wookiees?
Peace.
What about our
GG,
ship?
guys.